Hi friends, my name is Nandita. I am from Andhra Pradesh.
Children, now let us discuss about digestion and absorption. Children, let us discuss in detail about what is digestion and absorption from chapter 16. Children, the reductionist approach to study of life forms resulted in increasing use of physico-chemical concepts and techniques. Majority of these studies employed their surviving tissue model of straightaway cell-free system. An explosion of knowledge resulted in molecular biology. Molecular psychology became almost synonymous with biochemistry and biophysics. However, it is now being increasingly realized that neither a purely organismic approach nor a purely reductionistic molecular approach would reveal the truth about biological process or living phenomena. Systems biology make us believe that all living phenomena are emergent properties due to interaction among components of the system under study. Regularity network of molecules, supramolecular assembles, cells, tissues, organisms, and indeed populations and communities each create emergent properties. Children, in this chapter, under this unit, we discuss major human psychological process like digestion, exchange of gases, blood circulation, locomotion, and movement are described in cellular and molecular terms. The last two chapters point to the coordination and regulation of body events at the organismic level. Let us see who is the scientist that discovered and studied more about human digestive system. His name is Alfonso Corti. He is an Italian anatomist and he was born in 1822. Corti began his scientific career studying in a cardiovascular system of reptiles. Later he turned his attention to the mammal auditory system. In 1851, he published a paper describing a structure located on the basilar membrane of cochlea containing hair cells that converted sound vibrations into nerve impulses. The organ of Corti. He died in the year of 1888. Children, as we know, food is one of the basic requirements of all living organisms. The major components of our food are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Vitamins and minerals are also required in small quantities. Food provides energy and organic materials for growth and repair of our body tissues. The water we take in plays an important role in metabolic process and also prevents dehydration of the body. Children, biomacromolecules in food cannot be utilized by our body in their original form. They have to be broken down and converted into simple substance in the digestive system. This process of conversion of simple food substance into simple absorbable forms is called digestion, and it is carried out by our digestive system biochemical methods. Let us see what is digestion. Children, digestion is the process through which complex food is converted into a simple form to facilitate absorption of nutrients and release of energy in the body. Food provides energy and organic materials for growth and repair our body tissues. Biomacromolecules, as we discussed in the food, cannot be utilized by our body in their original form. They have to be broken down and converted into simple substance in the digestive system. This conversion of the complex food substance into simple forms we called as digestion. Now let us see the digestion is categorized into two types. One is intracellular digestion and second one is extracellular digestion. Let us discuss what is intracellular digestion. Intracellular digestion is a form of digestion which takes place within the cytoplasm of organisms. Children, intracellular digestion takes place in animals without digestive tract in which food items are brought into cells for digestion. When the process of digestion occurs within the cell in the food vacuole, it is called intracellular digestion. Examples of intracellular digestive systems like organisms, protozoa, porifera, coelenterata and free living platyhelminthes. Children, now let us see what is extracellular digestion. Extracellular digestion is a process in which animals feed by secreting enzymes through the cell membrane into the food. The enzymes break down the food molecules into small enough to be taken pass through the cell membrane into the cell. When the process of digestion occurs outside the cell, it is called extracellular digestion. Examples: coelenterate and phylum Platyhelminthes to phylum Chordata. Children, now let us discuss in detail about human digestive system. Human digestive system mainly it involves in the 5 steps which are called as ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. Let us discuss about egestion. Ingestion is the first step. The food enters into alimentary canal through the mouth and swallowed of food. Digestion, the process of conversion of complex food substance to simple absorbable form. Absorption, the digested food is absorbed into body fluids from alimentary canal. Now let us see what is assimilation. The process by which chemicals from food are taken into the cell of body after digestion and absorption. The food is absorbed and it is transported by blood vessels to various parts. Let us see the last step of human digestive system. It is called as egestion. The process of removing the undigested food material from the body through the anus is called egestion. Children, now let us discuss about human digestive system parts and its function. The human digestive system mainly involves the following parts like mouth, oral cavity, esophagus, stomach, pancreas, liver, gallbladder, small intestine, large intestine, slift called median slift, which. Now let us discuss about mouth. Mouth is the only part of opening of human digestive system or tract. It is a transverse slit. It is bounded by 2 soft movable lips. The lips are covered with skin and mucous membrane on inner sides. In mammals, the upper lip has well-defined lift called median slift, which provides exposure to the teeth. In humans, the median lift not seen but only a depression can be seen, which is called philtrum. Children, now let us discuss about oral cavity, which we can call as buccal cavity also. Oral cavity is a space bounded above the plate, below by the throat, and on the side by the jaws. The buccal cavity is lined by stratified squamous epithelium. There are 4 plates present in the oral cavity. Let us discuss about this. The anterior part of plate is arched and strong. It is called hard plate. This part is well supported by maxilla bone. It bears transfer ridges called palatine rugae. The rugae helps in keeping the food in place during mastication. The soft plate containing hanging small conical flap called uvula. The uvula is movable and capable of coming in contact with the posterior pharyngeal walls so as to cut off the upper nasal part of the pharynx, which is also called nasopharynx, from the lower oral part of the pharynx and termed as oropharynx during swallowing. The posterior part of the plate is smooth and fleshy. It is termed as soft plate. Its smooth surface makes swallowing easily. Now let us discuss about tongue and its function. The tongue is a voluntary, musculo-sincere and glandular structure which occupies the floor of the mouth. It is attached to the floor of the mouth by a fold called frenulum. An inverted V-shaped furrows termed as sulcus terminals divided into upper surface of the tongue into the anterior oral part and posterior pharyngeal part. The upper surface of tongue has 4 types of papillae: the small projections which bear taste buds like valleate surrounded by wall, fungiforms like mushroom shaped, foliate leaf shaped, filiforms filament shaped structures are present on the papillae. Let us discuss the function of the tongue. Tongue helps in chewing the food. It plays a role in speech. It aids in swallowing the food and mixing the food and saliva. It acts as a brush to clear the teeth by cleaning small food particles, and it is an organ of taste and can recognize our four tastes, that is salty, sweet, bitter and sour. Children, now let us discuss about teeth and its function. Teeth are hard structures which are meant for folding and crushing the food. Most of the mammals have diphyodont, means two set of teeth milk, or deciduous and permanent set. Theodont means the teeth are embedded in the socket of jaw bones. And another type of teeth are heterodont. The teeth means they have different types of teeth. Now let us discuss the types of teeth in humans. Children, there are four kinds of teeth which are called as incisors, canines, premolars and molars. These are present in human. Let us discuss about incisors. Incisors are chisel shaped and process sharp cutting edges. They are usually specialized for cutting the food. Canines. Canines, they lie immediately behind the incisors. Canines are well developed in carnivores and may be absent in herbivores, leaving a gap called diastema, which is used to separate the chewed and unchewed food in the mouth cavity. They have long, sharp, pointed end for purchasing, killing and tearing of flesh food. Now let us discuss about premolars and molars. Premolars and molars, these are called cheek teeth and which are broad, strong, crushing the food. The last molars in humans are being called wisdom teeth. Now let us see the different types of teeth like homodont, heterodont and others. Homodont, when all the teeth are structurally and functionally similar. So these types of teeth are called homodont teeth. Examples like vertebrates excepted metatherian and eutherian mammals, we can see this type of homodont teeth. Now let us see what are heterodont teeth. Heterodont, even these are also four types of teeth like incisors of 4 biting, canines of 4 tearing, premolars of 8 crushing and grinding, and molars are 12 for making smaller pieces. Example, metatherian and eutherian animals, we can see this type of teeth. Now let us discuss about incisors 8 which are present in heterodont type of teeth. These are present at the front and long, curved and possess sharp edges teeth. They are adapted for cutting or cropping and biting. Canines. 4 canines are present. These are one pointed or dagger shaped canine in each maxillary of upper jaw and each dentary of lower jaw next to the incisors. They are meant for reaching, tearing and offense and defense. These are poorly developed in man. Now let us discuss about 8 premolars and their function. They are meant for crushing, grinding and chewing. They are also called chick teeth. Let us discuss about 12 molars which are present in humans. Chick teeth, they are specialized for crushing and grinding the food. Children, the enamel which is present on the teeth represents the hardest substance of the body. It is completely a cellular and a vascular and non-regenerable teeth. It helps in mastication of the food. The element that hardens the smooth enamel is fluorine. Now let us discuss the structure of teeth. Children, teeth are already we discussed embedded in the jaws. Man has fixed upper jaw and movable lower jaws. Each tooth consists of 3 parts like crown, root, neck. Let us see what is crown. Crown, it is the exposed portion of the tooth above the gums. The gingiva is a specialized region of the oral mucus surrounded the neck of the teeth. Crown is covered with the hardest substance called enamel that protects the crown. Beneath the enamel is dentine, which is made up of a hard substance but are not tough as enamel and they can decay. Dentine forms the bulk of tooth. There is a pulp cavity inside the dentin. It is a jelly-like substance and carries the nerve fibers, blood vessels and sensory cells. The nerve supply to the upper teeth is by the branches of maxillary nerves and to the lower teeth by the branches of mandibular nerves. These both are branches of fifth cranial nerve called trigeminal nerve. Now let us discuss about neck. Neck is a narrow portion at the gum line. Now let us see what is root. Root is embedded in the jawbone and holds the tooth securely in place. The root is fixed in alveolus of the jawbone by periodontal membrane and cementum. Cement holds a tooth in its socket and periodontal membrane covers the cement. Children, now let us discuss the number of teeth which is present in humans and other organisms. The milk or deciduous teeth are 20 in number, 10 in upper and 10 in lower jaw. The deciduous teeth begin to erupt when the child is about 6 months old and should all be present by the end of 24 months. The permanent teeth begin to replace the milk teeth in the 6th year of age. These teeth are 32 and usually completed by the 20th year. Now let us see the dental formula in different organisms. The number and kinds of teeth in mammals are present by an equation called dental formula. The arrangement of teeth in each half of the upper and lower jaw in order like incisors, canines, premolars and molars represented as I, C, P, M and M by a dental formula which in humans is 21-22 by 21-22. In humans, adult means the permanent set of teeth dental formula is 21-23 by 21-23. Morphologically, the teeth can be distinguished as homodont and heterodont. Let us see the various kinds of dental formula in different organisms. Like man and monkey, they can have incisors like 2 by 2, canines 1 by 1, premolars 2 by 2 and molars 3 by 3. Total the dental formula is 21-22 by 21-22. Means into 2 means 2 sets, upper and lower jaw. Total together we have 32. If you take in a rabbit, it is having incisors 2 by 1, canines 0 by 0, premolars 3 by 2 and molars 3 by 3. So the dental formula of rabbit is 20-33 by 10-23. So the total number of teeth in both the jaws are 28. Now let us discuss about the dental formula of cow and a goat. Cow and a goat both are having incisors like 0 by 3, canines 0 by 1, premolars 3 by 3, molars 3 by 3. So the dental formula of cow and goat are 0033 by 3133 into 2 means 2 sets. So the total number of teeth are 32. Now let us see the dental formula in dogs. Dogs are having incisors in the both sets 3 by 3, canines 1 by 1, premolars 4 by 4 and molars 3 by 2. So the dental formula is 3142 by 3143 into 2 means 2 sets, which the total number represents 42 set of teeth. Now let us see the dental formula of rat and mouse. So they have incisors like 1 by 1, canines 0 by 0, premolars 0 by 0 and molars 3 by 3, which the dental formula represents like 1003 by 1003 into 2 means which are represents the 2 sets, that our total number is 16. Now let us see the dental formula in elephants. Elephants have incisors like 1 by 0, canines 0 by 0, premolars 3 by 3 and molars 3 by 3. So the dental formula of elephant is 1033 by 0033 into 2 means which represents 2 sets, the total number of 26. Now let us discuss the dental formula in kangaroo. Kangaroos are having incisors like 3 by 2, canines like 1 by 0, premolars by 2 by 2, molars 4 by 4. It represents 3124 and 2024. into divided into 2 means 2 sets, which represents the total number 34. Now let us discuss about the dental formula in sheep. Incisors are present 0 by 3, canines 0 by 1, premolars 3 by 3 and molars 3 by 3, which represents as 0033 by 3133 into 2 means 2 sets. The total number of teeth are 32. Children, now let us discuss the categories of teeth. First one is eriodont. Eriodont is a part of bone not embedded in sockets. We can see examples like reptiles excepted crocodiles. Next one is thicodont. This type of teeth embedded in deep sockets of some jaw bones. Examples like mammals, crocodiles. Next one is monophycodont. This type of teeth grow only once in life. Examples platypus and toothed whale. Now the next one is diphyodont. All the teeth excepted molars grow twice in life. Examples mammals. Next one is plophyodont. These are fallen or worn out teeth, can be replaced many times throughout the life. Examples frog. And another category is isodont. All the teeth are similar in this type of category. We can see examples in tooth whale. The next category is heterodont. More than one type of teeth is present in mammals and crocodiles. Pharynx. The mouth leads to funnel-shaped pharynx. The pharynx is about 12 centimeters long vertical canal beyond the soft plate. The food and air passes cross here. The pharynx may be divided into 3 parts. The muscular passage, which is funnel-shaped and helps in both the process of respiration and digestion. The buccal cavity is extended into a pharynx while the nasal cavity from above opens into it. Then it will open into the esophagus and trachea posteriorly. The glottis is the opening of the pharynx into the trachea and is always open during the process of respiration. The glottis is covered by the flap-like structures called epiglottis, which helps in preventing the food particles to move into the windpipe while swallowing instead of the food pipe, and it closes by uvula into the nasal cavity. Now let us discuss about the function of pharynx. Children, the function of pharynx as a part of digestive tract is merely to serve as passive way for the food from oral cavity to esophagus. The lymphatic tissue of pharynx and oral cavity are arranged in a ring which are collectively called Wadler's ring. All these lymphoid tissues are active in the production of immunoglobulin. Now let us discuss about esophagus. Esophagus is 25 centimeters long and narrow muscular straight tube lined by satisfied squamous epithelium containing mucous glands. The opening of esophagus is called gullet. It runs downwards through the neck behind the trachea and through behind the heart and passes through diaphragm into abdomen. Here it sharply bends to open into the stomach. This bend is one of the devices to check the black flow of the stomach content into the esophagus. The longitudinal floors keep its cavity almost closed except during swallowing of food. The esophagus serves to convey the food by peristaltic movements, means a series of wave-like contraction that passes through the ends, and it is meant for pushing the food. Children, now let us discuss about the function and structure of the stomach. Stomach is the widest organ, about 30 centimeters long and 15 centimeters wide of a alimentary canal. It is a hollow J-shaped organ lying between the esophagus and the small intestine. The exact position of the stomach is in the upper 5 by 6th part of the right, 1 by 6th part of the abdominal cavity. The leisure curvature is short and lies on the posterior surface of the stomach. The greater curvature is on anterior surface of the stomach. The fold of peritoneum, which attaches the stomach to the posterior abdominal walls, extend beyond the greater curvature. This is called the greater omentum, which stores fat. The inner surface of the stomach has numerous folds, the gastric ridge. These folds, by unfolding, let the stomach expanded a accommodate a large meal. Unlike the other parts of the digestive tract, the stomach wall contains three smooth muscular layers: outer layer of longitudinal, middle of circular, and inner of oblique fibers to churn the food and into mix it with the gastric secretion. Now let us discuss about four parts of the stomach. First is cardiac part, second one is fundus, body and pyloric part. Let us discuss about cardiac part. It is called cardiac part because it is present near the heart. The cardiac sphincter lies in the opening between esophagus and stomach. The second part of the stomach, which is called as fundus. Fundus extends superiorly from the cardiac part. The fundus is commonly filled with gas or air. The third part of the stomach, which is called as body, and it is the main part of stomach. Next one is the pyloric part. Pyloric part is the digestal part of the stomach. The pyloric region is divided into pyloric antrium and pyloric canal. The pyloric sphincter guards the opening between the stomach and duodenum. Cordially permits partially digested food to leave the stomach and into duodenum. Now let us discuss the function of the stomach. First one, it undergoes for the storage. Storage allows a meal to be consumed and the material released in symmetrically into the duodenum from digestion. It undergoes for the chemical digestion. Chemical digestion is nothing but pepsin begins the process of protein digestion, leaving a large polypeptides into shorter chains. After chemical digestion, the next function we'll discuss about mechanical digestion. The churning action of muscular causes liquefaction and mixing of the contents to produce acid chyme, a thick semi-fluid mass of partially digested food and digestive secretions that is formed in the stomach. After that, it undergoes for some absorption like water, electrolyte, monosaccharides and fat soluble molecules including alcohol are all absorbed in the stomach to some degrees. Now let us discuss about the small intestine. From stomach the food enters into the small intestine, and the small intestine is a narrow tube about 6 meters long in a living adult. It is longest part of the alimentary canal and it consists of three parts which are called as duodenum, gingum and ileum. Duodenum. Duodenum is C-shaped structure and about 25 centimeters long. It receives the hepatopancreatic duct formed by union of bile duct from liver and from pancreatic duct from pancreas, and whose opening is guarded by sphincter of Oddi. Small nodules of lymphoid tissues are seen along the length of small intestine. These nodules are called Pierce patches. Now let us discuss about the second part of small intestine, which is called as gingum. Gingum, it is slightly coiled, moderately wide, about 3.5 to 4 centimeters, and the middle part of the small intestine. Its wall is thicker and more vascular than that of ileum. Gingum is rich in digestive glands, like it is surrounded with villi around it. Its length is about 0.8 to 1.5 meters. Ileum. The ileum forms the lower part of the small intestine. It is about 3.5 meters long and opens into large intestine. It is characterized by a club-shaped villi and Pierce patches. Villi increases internal surface of ileum about 10 times. Pierce patches contain higher concentrations of white blood cells that helps the protect body from infections and diseases. Now let us discuss the functions of small intestine. The small intestine completes the digestion of proteins, carbohydrates, nucleic acids and fats. It absorbs nutrient materials into the blood and lymph and also lubrication of it secretes certain hormones such as cholecystokinin, secretin, enterogastrotin, dioscirinin, enteroserinin and villikinin. Sugars and vitamin C as well as thiamine, riboflavin, pyridoxine and folic acid are absorbed in the upper third of the small intestine. Protein is absorbed approximately midway through the ileum. Water and lipids are absorbed by passive diffusion through the small intestine. Sodium bicarbonate is absorbed by active transport and glucose and amino acids co-transport. Vitamin A, D, E and K fats or cholesterol are absorbed in the lower third part of the ileum. Vitamin B12 is absorbed just before the small intestine, which joins the large intestine. Bile salts are reabsorbed in the distal ileum and ascending colon. Now let us discuss in detail the absorption. Most nutrient absorption occurs in the small intestine, including minerals, vitamins, proteins and fats. Iron, calcium, magnesium, zinc are absorbed almost immediately after leaving the stomach, that is in the 8th feet of the duodenum and jejunum. Let us discuss about the large intestine. Children, large intestine represent diameter varies from one region to another region, but it is always larger than that of the small intestine. It is about 1.5 meters long and it is divisible into three parts again: cecum, colon and rectum. Cecum and vermiform appendix. The cecum is pouch-like structure which is about 6 centimeters. The cecum is called ileocecal junction, guarded by ileocecal valve which prevents the backflow. The vermiform appendix is an outgrowth of cecum. It is slightly about 8 centimeters long. It walls contain permanent lymphoid tissue. Appendix is through to be vestigial. The inflammation of vermiform appendix due to decay of food or worm infection is called appendicitis, and rupture of appendix leads to swelling of fecal matter onto the peritoneum, leading to infection and inflammation known as peritonitis. The cecum is well developed in herbivorous mammals like horse, rabbit, etc. Now let us discuss about colon. Colon. The cecum leads into the colon, which divided into four regions, again ascending, transverse, descending and sigmoid colon. The sigmoid colon is S-shaped and enters the pelvis and joins the rectum. Ascending colon is shorter part of the colon. The right of the colic flexure marks the boundary between the ascending and transverse colon. The left flexure marks the boundary between the transverse and descending colon. Now let us discuss about rectum. The sigmoid colon opens into the rectum. The rectum compresses the last 20 centimeters of digestive tract and terminates 2 centimeters long anal canal. The mucosa of anal canal is folded into several vertical folds called anal column, supplied with arteries and veins. The opening of anal canal is called anus. The anus has internal anal sphincter composed of smooth muscular fibers and external anal sphincter compressed of stripped muscular fibers. Children, now let us discuss about the function of large intestine. The large intestine does not secrete any enzyme. It plays a major role in the absorption of nutrients. It stores unabsorbed food remnants temporarily, concentrates the contents by absorbing water to form feces, and the movement of the colon helps to avoid feces through anus. It also plays a role in digestion and excretion. The colon bacteria E. coli produces vitamin B and K, which are absorbed. The chief function of large intestine is the absorption of water and elimination of solid waste. Children, let us discuss about histology of human alimentary canal. Children, the walls of the human alimentary canal that runs from the esophagus to rectum is composed of four major layers. One is serosa, second one is muscularis, third one is submucosa, fourth one is mucosa. Let us see what is serosa. Serosa is made up of fibers and composes the outermost layer of the alimentary canal. It is made up of thin mesothelium along with some connective tissues. Next one is muscularis. Muscularis is the layer that found outside the submucosa. It is made up of two layers that include an inner layer of circular muscles and outer layer of longitudinal muscles, while in some regions an oblique muscles layer is also observed. Now let us see what is submucosa. This layer is found outer to the mucosa and it is made up of loose connective tissues layer along with the blood, lymph and lymph vessels where nerves also present. Mucosal region, the duodenal glands are found. Children, let us discuss about mucosa. It lies in the innermost layer of the lumen of the alimentary canal that provides moisture and its friction resistant. The epithelium consists of the secretory cells and the absorptive cells. The epithelium consists of the globule that helps in the secretion of the mucus, acting as lubricant and result in the protection of the epithelium from damage and digestion. The rugae are present in the stomach that are made up of the mucosa and submucosa folded together when the stomach is empty. These folds will help the stomach to stretch and then disappear when the food reaches the stomach. And the mucosal region of the small intestine, there are a number of finger-like projections present in the surface which are called villi. Children, let us discuss the structure of villi. The villi is the mucosal region of the small intestine. There are a number of finger-like projections present in their surface called villi. Each villi is composed of network of blood capillaries, a network of lymph vessels and an outer layer of columnar epithelial cells. A large central lymph vessel is found at the center of each villus called lacteal. The epithelial cells of the villi consist of short protoplasmic bristles-like projections that are around 2000 to 3000 called microvilli or brush borders. The main function of villi is to increase the surface area of the intestinal mucosa and thus result in increasing the rate of absorption of nutrients. The small intestine has total surface area of about 200 square meters. The walls of the epithelial cells of villi helps in absorption of the digestive food. Children, now let us discuss about digestive glands. The digestive glands includes those glands that are the part of alimentary canal and helps in the process of digestion of food material. Let us discuss about first salivary glands. There are the digestive glands that results in the secretion of the saliva and are found in the oral cavity. In humans, salivary glands are in three pairs. One is parotid glands, sublingual glands, and third one is submandibulary or submaxillary glands. Children, let us discuss what are parotid glands. Parotid glands are large and are found just below in front of the ears. Sublingual glands are located on the floor of the mouth below the tongue. The submandibulary glands and submaxillary glands located below the angles of the lower jawbone. These glands are responsible for the secretion of the saliva and through the salivary ducts it reaches the oral cavity. The saliva is clear water fluid and in humans it is secreted per day about 1.5 liters. It is alkaline in nature and it is composed of 99% of water and other substance 0.5% that include the digestive enzymes like electrolytes, mucin, inorganic salts. In man, starch digesting enzymes are present in the saliva called salivary amylase along with an antimicrobial agent known as lysoenzyme. The role of salivary amylase is to digest the starch and glucogen and convert them into maltose. It is not found in the case of cows, buffaloes, goats, tigers and lions, etc. The electrolytes like NaK, Cl, HCO3, etc. are found in the saliva are formed from the blood plasma, serous fluid and mucus. Children, now let us discuss the functions of saliva are. The first one, it prevents those activities in the oral cavity that leads to deterioration. It removes the pathogenic bacteria and saliva contains thiokinate ions, and proteolytic enzymes that helps in destroying bacteria found in the oral cavity. The proteins present in the saliva helps in destroying bacteria found in the oral cavity that leads to dental caries. Now let us discuss about the another gland which is called liver. Liver is the largest gland in the human body whose weight is about 1.2 to 1.5 kg in adult in the abdominal region at the right upper part that is just below the diaphragm. The liver is bilobed having two lobes. There are small left lobe and a large right lobe. The lobules make the structure of the liver and performs functions. These are surrounded by a capsule called Gibson's capsule. The lobules consist of hepatic cells, Kupffer cells, and blood-filled spaces called sinusoids. The hepatic cells result in the secretion of bile. The Kupffer cells helps in the digestion of bacteria, and damaged blood cells, foreign particles, etc. The liver secretes bile juice that is greenish in color, the alkaline in nature. It consists of various substances that include pigment, mucin, cholesterol, phospholipids, water, bile salts. The bile pigments are of two types. One is biliverdin and second one is bilirubin. The biliverdin is a green pigment while bilirubin is a reddish yellow pigment. Bile salts including sodium taurocolite and sodium glycocolite that helps them in digesting the fats and also absorbing of fat soluble vitamins like vitamin A, D, E and K. In bile, enzymes are absent. It then passed into the hepatic ducts. The gallbladder results in the formation of the cystic. The hepatic and the cystic duct together form a common bile juice and then join with an pancreatic duct that results in the formation of a common hepatopancreatic duct. The sphincter that surrounded the common duct is called sphincter of Oddi. Children, now let us discuss about the pancreas. There are the part of the digestive gland that are elongated and are found in bend of the duodenal loop. It is the second largest gland in the human body after the liver, and it is about 12 to 15 centimeters long, having reddish yellow color. They help in the secretion of pancreatic juice, which is a clear, watery, alkaline fluid consisting a large number of enzymes that helps in the digestion of starch, proteins, lipids and nucleic acids. The pancreatic juice is then passed into the pancreatic duct or duct of Wissung that later combines with the combined bile duct and result in the formation of hepatopancreatic duct, which opens into the duodenal loop. The pancreas is composed of parts like the endoserine and exoserine parts. The exoserine part is composed of glandular chambers called acini or alveoli that helps in the secretion of alkaline pancreatic juice having enzymes. The endoserine part of composed of isolates of Langerhans that are scattered patches of cells and result in the secretion of the hormones insulin and glucagon. It is composed of three types of cells. Alpha cells secrete of glucagon, beta cells secrete of insulin, delta cells secrete of somatostatin. Children, now let us discuss about the digestion of food. The process of digestion involves in two processes, mechanical and chemical. Let us see what is mechanical digestion. Mechanical digestion is a process of breakdown of food into the much simpler compounds by the process of mastication, insalivation, and lastly by the peristaltic movement of the wall of the alimentary canal. Now let us see what is the chemical digestion. The chemical digestion occurs with the help of various chemicals that are secreted by the mouth region, mainly saliva, which gets mixed with the food particles and helps in the partial digestion. The saliva is composed of various substances that include mucin, thiocyanate, lysoenzyme and patilene that result in complete digestion. The mucin is a glycoprotein that helps in providing the lubrication to the food particles and helps them in swallowing the food. Lysosome. The lysosome is a bactericidal that kills the harmful bacteria. The saliva consists of patilin that helps in digesting starch and converts it into maltose. In mouth, only 30% of starch is digested. Next one, patilin is found in the saliva of the humans due to the food which is consumed is mainly composed of starch. The function of patilin is to digest only ripe and cooked starch while the raw starch cannot be digested by it. The teeth and tongue are responsible for the mastication, lubrication and addition of food into the bolus after mixing with the saliva and are then transferred into the pharynx by the process of swallowing. The process of swallowing is a reflex action that occurs along with the peristaltic wave and result in the pushing of the food into various parts of the alimentary canal. The bolus moves to the esophagus and with the help of peristaltic movements in the esophagus, the food then enters into the stomach via gastroesophageal sphincter. Let us see the digestion in the stomach. The process of digesting the food particles in the stomach is known as gastric digestion. The bolus after salivation enters the stomach and result in the straightening of its walls called rugae. These walls then crush, knead and churns the food particle and mix them with the gastric juices. They are released by gastric juice secreted by gastric glands. There are 4 types of cells that produce the secretion of gastric glands and is located all over the inner region of the stomach. The first glands are called as mucous neck cells or goblet cells. They help in secreting the mucus which is alkaline in nature and helps in protecting the epithelium from the action of hydrochloric acid. These cells are located in the fundic, cardiac and pyloric regions of the stomach. Next one is peritial cells or auxiliary cells. These are also located in the fundic, cardiac and pyloric region of the stomach. They result in the secretion of the hydrochloric acid which is in turn result in the activation of the pepsin enzyme from the gastric glands that helps in the digestion of proteins. Their function is to destroy the microorganisms that they have entered along with the food. Chief cells. They help in the secretion of pepsin enzyme that are found in the fundic region. G cells. These are found in the fundic, pyloric and gastric region of the stomach that result in the secretion of gastroenzyme and are responsible for the secretion of hydrochloric acid. The secretion of gastric glands together consist of gastric juices that are acidic in reaction and contains dilute HCl. The gastric juices is composed of about 99% of water and the remaining amount is pepsinogen, gastric lipase, prorenine, mucus, biocarbonates, HCl, etc. The food is stored in the stomach for about 4 to 6 hours. The food will become acidic after it undergoes gastric digestion, resulting in the formation of semi-digested paste-like form known as chyme. The chyme is then transferred through the pyloric sphincter of the stomach little by little into duodenum of the small intestine. The protection of lubrication of the mucosal epithelium are due to the presence of mucus and bicarbonates in the gastric juice. They protect the mucosal epithelium from getting destroyed under the effect of the highly concentrated HCl. Children, now let us discuss the digestion in the intestine. The chyme formed enters the small intestine where it first reaches the duodenum. In the duodenum, the process of digestion occurs and it results in an increase in the osmotic pressure. The bile secreted from the liver results in the neutralization of the acidic chyme. It then passes to the alkaline part of the pancreatic juice and then the mucus is secreted by the Berners gland. In the GGM and ileum region of small intestine, the food gets mixed with the bile, mucus and pancreatic juices along with the intestinal juices called succus enterosis. Here the complete digestion occurs due to the presence of chemical action of various digestive enzymes in the intestinal juice and also through the peristaltic and pendulous movement of the intestine. Children, now let us discuss about intestinal glands. Here there are two types of intestinal glands are present. First is called crypts of lubricant and Burners gland. Let us discuss what is crypts of lubricant. There are the invaginations of the mucosa located in the small intestine in between the villi and it is at the base of villi. They are composed of three types of secreting cells. First one is goblet cells, pancreatic cells and enterocytes. Let us discuss about goblet cells. Goblet cells are responsible for the secretion of mucus. Pennate cells are responsible for the secrete large number of digestive enzymes. Second one is enterocytes. These are responsible for secreted water and electrolytes. Now let us discuss about another gland which is called Burners gland. There are tubular glands located in the submucosa of the duodenum. Burners gland. They are the tubular glands located in the submucosa of the duodenum. They result in the secretion of a viscous alkaline enzyme free and water fluid called mucoid fluid that helps the duodenum to withstand the acidic chyme that enters through the stomach and it is then neutralized by the help of the alkaline pancreatic juice and bile juice. Both the intestinal and Burner glands secrete together are called succus enterocytes, having slightly straw colored alkaline fluid along with a number of enzymes, inorganic salts and mucus. The food after it is fully digested will form a semi-fluid known as chyle. From the chyle, the digested food then undergoes absorption. Children, now let us see the action of pancreatic enzymes and are the intestinal enzymatic actions are. The macromolecules break down into the duodenum region while their absorption occurs into the GGM and ileum region of the small intestine. The food particles that remain undigested will move into the large intestine via the ileocecal valve. Large intestine. The large intestine is the region where the absorption of fluid occurs. It involves the absorption of water and minerals while it involves secreted mucus for the process of adhering and lubrication. The food that remains undigested will result in the formation of solid wastes called feces. These are stored temporarily another organ called the rectum and lastly it is moved out from the anus of the body by the process of defecation. Children, let us discuss about absorption of the food. The process is performed by an alimentary canal which helps in taking up by the digested food products and other nutrients and transforming them into other cells or tissues of the body is called absorption. The products formed after digestion include glucose, fatty acids, amino acids, glycerol, pyrimidines, purines, mineral salts, water, vitamins, etc. The main site where the food is digested occurs in the small intestine. The major process of absorption occurs in the ileum of the small intestine. The digested food products in the small intestine are absorbed with the help of the microvilli of the absorptive cells, while the absorption of water occurs in the large intestine. The absorption of the digested food occurs via passive absorption or active absorption or by facilitated transport mechanism. Let us see about simple diffusion and facilitated diffusion. Children, simple diffusion helps in the absorption of amino acids, glucose and some electrolytes like chloride ions. Facilitated diffusion occurs with the help of carries ions like Na+ that helps in the absorption of fructose and some amino acids.
On the basis of the osmotic gradient, the transport of waters occurs. When the transport is against the concentration gradient, it is called active transport. To transport by this method, the energy is required in the form of ATP. It is result in the absorption of amino acids, electrolytes like Na plus monosaccharides, glucose, etc. The fatty acids and glycerol are found to be insoluble and cannot be absorbed by the blood. So they first need to break down into smaller droplets called micelles, which move into the intestinal mucosa, where they are converted into small protein coated fat globules and are then transferred into lymph vessel into villi. Then from there it reaches to the bloodstream. The absorption of food occurs in the mouth, stomach, small intestine and large intestine, while most of the absorption occurs in the small intestine only. The process of transfer of absorbed food into different tissues via blood is called assimilation. The food which is undigested is stored in the form of solid waste called as feces in the rectum, which is then removed out after the process of defecation which occurs at the neural reflection. Children, now let us discuss the disorders of the digestive system. Children, the intestinal tract may be infected by certain bacteria or virus, resulting in inflammation. The infections may also occur due to the presence of various parasites of the intestine that include roundworms, tapeworms, threadworms, pinworm and hookworm, etc. The common disorder occurs in the digestive systems are vomiting, jaundice, diarrhea, indigestion, constipation, etc. Let us discuss about jaundice. Jaundice occurs due to the accumulation of bile pigment in the blood that will result in yellowish of skin, eyes and mucous membrane. Vomiting. Vomitings occurs at blockage of gut or reversible peristalsis where the content of the stomach are ejected through the mouth. It is a reflex action that under the control of the vomiting center present in the medulla oblongata of the brain. Vomitings occur after the feeling of nausea arises. Diarrhea. The watery feces that occurs frequently are the symptoms of diarrhea that occurs due to non-proper absorption of water. This leads to the abnormal bowel movement frequently and also liquidify of the faeces discharge and reduces the absorption of food. Constipation. When the amount of water absorbed is high in the large intestine, then it will result in the formation of the facial matter that is extremely dry and hard, leading to the dry and hard muscles of the colon of the large intestine, which then becomes incapable of their normal peristaltic movements and remains contracted. This leads to the storage of feces in the rectum and leads to defecation that occurs at prolonged intervals. This condition is called constipation. To avoid constipation, the food is to be taken must be right in cellulose fibers. These are two conditions of irregular defecation that are constipation and diarrhea. Indigestion. The condition occurring indigestion. The condition occurring due to improper digestion leads to the feeling of fullness. Indigestion occurs due to various factors including inadequate enzymes, anxiety, secretion, food poisoning, spicy food, overeating, etc. Thank you.